Wendy Williams, once the undisputed queen of daytime TV, is now at the center of a dramatic battle for her own freedom. Known for her fearless opinions and sharp tongue, Wendy built an empire calling out celebrities and sharing gossip that no one else dared to touch. But now, the woman who made a career by telling it like it is finds herself in a real-life situation where the truth, the power, and the control are all in question. Wendy Williams is facing a public, complicated fight that has left fans and the media wondering, how did we get here? How did Wendy Williams, the powerhouse who ruled daytime television, end up in such a tangled and heartbreaking situation? The woman who made millions off of her unfiltered views is now at the center of a case that seems to mirror the very drama she once lived for. But this time, the stakes are her personal freedom. The story isn't just unfolding behind closed doors. It's out in the open, with every new twist drawing more attention. Let's dive into the latest chapter of this ongoing saga, one that has captivated the public's attention and has everyone asking questions. At 60 years old, Wendy Williams is now confined to a high-rise assisted living facility in New York City. While the facility itself may sound like the type of luxurious home anyone might dream of, don't let the posh address fool you. Wendy herself has called it a luxury prison. A beautiful high-rise building on the outside, but inside, it's far from the life Wendy once knew. She's now living on the 5th floor, in what's described as the memory unit, a space where people decades older than her are surrounded by a reality she's not ready to accept. Wendy hasn't been shy about sharing how she feels about her current living situation. Despite the luxurious location, she said it feels suffocating, lonely, and unrecognizable to the woman she once was. Wendy, who used to be the face of the hot talk show circuit, has found herself trapped in a facility she calls a prison, separated from the world she once ruled. What makes it even more heartbreaking is her insistence that she's not mentally impaired. "I'm not cognitively impaired," she has said repeatedly, pushing back against the claims that have justified the court-ordered guardianship controlling her life and finances. This guardianship, which has been in place since 2022, was the result of concerns raised by Wendy's former financial advisor, Lori Schiller, and Wells Fargo, her banking institution. The bank froze Wendy's accounts, citing suspicions of undue influence and financial exploitation. This marked the beginning of a legal battle that would set off a whirlwind of controversy, ultimately leading to the appointment of a legal guardian, Sabrina Moresi, who now has the authority to make all of Wendy's major decisions, including her finances, healthcare, and even who can visit her. Wendy, of course, has voiced her frustration about this situation, admitting that she feels trapped in a situation she never asked for. But Wendy Williams isn't one to sit idly by, especially when her future is on the line. Enter Joe Tacopina, the heavyweight attorney who has now joined her legal team. Tacopina, known for defending high-profile figures like Donald Trump and A$AP Rocky, brings some serious firepower to Wendy's fight for freedom. His involvement signals a new chapter in this drama, one where Wendy is ready to take on the world. Wendy's legal team, under Tacopina's leadership, plans to challenge the medical evaluations that have justified the guardianship in the first place. These evaluations claim Wendy is no longer capable of managing her own affairs, but Tacopina and Wendy herself argue that this simply isn't true. Tacopina's legal strategy is clear. He plans to shake up the system. Wendy, with Tacopina by her side, is gearing up for a fierce legal battle to overturn the guardianship and regain control over her life. The question now is how far Wendy is willing to go to break free from the constraints that have been placed on her, and whether the court will agree with her legal team's challenge. But it's not just about the legal fight, it's about regaining the agency that Wendy lost when the guardianship was put in place. As Wendy takes her stand, she's not doing it alone. The Free Wendy movement has gained significant momentum, with fans across the country taking to the streets in New York and Los Angeles to rally for her release from guardianship. Wendy supporters have organized rallies, created online petitions, and even made T-shirts emblazoned with her name, all in the name of giving her back the life she once had. The emotional outpouring from her fans is palpable. Wendy has been spotted at the window of her assisted living facility, waving to the crowd and speaking to people on the phone. For Wendy, the public support has been a huge boost. But behind those waves of support, behind the tears of gratitude, there's also a woman who feels completely abandoned and isolated in a place she never imagined she would be. Wendy has admitted that the loneliness is overwhelming, and the feelings of isolation are taking their toll. In the face of this, Wendy has made it clear that her fight isn't just about legal technicalities. It's about regaining her identity, her power, and her independence. "I feel fantastic," Wendy declared recently, strongly rejecting the claims of mental incapacity. She's adamant that she's still fully in control of her faculties, and that the guardianship is unnecessary. For Wendy, the biggest obstacle isn't just the legal system, it's the image that others are trying to create of her. The idea that she's incapable, fragile, and past her prime doesn't sit well with her. And she's fighting to show the world that she is, in fact, the same Wendy Williams we all know. But the drama doesn't stop with just Wendy and her legal battles. The saga only gets messier when you look at the role her family has played in this situation. Wendy's son, Kevin Hunter Jr., has been at the center of accusations of financial mismanagement. When Wendy's accounts were frozen by Wells Fargo in 2022, it was due in part to the bank's suspicion that her son had been mishandling her finances. Kevin Jr. has denied these allegations, asserting that every decision he made was done with his mother's full consent. Despite his defense, the bank was unconvinced, and the accusations of exploitation only added fuel to the fire of Wendy's already turbulent relationship with her family. Then there's Kevin Hunter Sr., Wendy's ex-husband, who remains a thorn in her side. Their divorce in 2019 was messy and highly publicized, with revelations about his long-term affair and the child he fathered with another woman. But could there be more going on behind the scenes? Could Kevin Sr. have retained control over Wendy's finances even after their split? Wendy has made it clear that she wants her family to stay out of her guardianship case, and that her current situation has been exacerbated by her strained family dynamics. But family ties, especially when money is involved, are rarely as simple as they seem. Then there's the role of Wells Fargo and Wendy's former financial advisor, Lori Schiller. The decision to freeze Wendy's accounts was a pivotal moment in this case, and it was based largely on Schiller's concerns about potential financial exploitation. Wendy has accused Wells Fargo of acting unlawfully, claiming that the bank froze her accounts without properly explaining why. She's also pointed out that her former advisor, Schiller, was the one who raised concerns to the bank, but Wendy herself has dismissed these claims as unfounded. The question remains, did Wells Fargo have Wendy's best interests at heart? Or was there something more at play here? The lack of transparency from the bank has fueled conspiracy theories, with many questioning whether Wells Fargo had ulterior motives. Could this be more about control than protection? Another layer to this tangled web is the involvement of Wendy's guardian, Sabrina Moresi. Appointed by the court to manage Wendy's finances and health care, Sabrina has immense power over Wendy's life. But there's one major complication. Sabrina is a complete stranger to Wendy. Unlike other guardianships where family members are involved, Wendy's case was handed over to a professional guardian. This has raised many questions. Why wasn't a family member trusted to care for Wendy? Could it be because of the financial troubles surrounding her family? Wendy's guardianship isn't just about her health or finances, it's about control. She no longer has the freedom to decide where she lives, how her money is spent, or even who can visit her. This is a woman who once had it all, and now she's fighting to get back what's rightfully hers. Wendy's health has also played a key role in the legal battles surrounding her. Diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia in 2023, Wendy has been forced to fight back against public perceptions of her condition. While her diagnosis is real, Wendy has consistently rejected the notion that she's permanently incapacitated. "I feel fantastic," she said recently, rejecting the idea that she is anything but capable of managing her own life. But here's the twist. Despite the diagnosis, Wendy continues to demonstrate clarity of thought and a strong sense of herself in interviews. She's determined to prove that she's still the same Wendy Williams, even though the legal system is trying to paint her as someone who can no longer make decisions for herself. So, what's really going on? Is Wendy truly incapable of managing her own life, or is this a larger conspiracy to control her wealth and legacy? Could her outspoken career, one that often involved exposing secrets and embarrassing powerful people, have made her a target? These are questions that remain unanswered, and the public's fascination with her story only grows. Wendy's niece, Alex, has shared that her recent phone calls with Wendy have been bittersweet. While Wendy sounds more clear-headed than ever, the emotional isolation is wearing on her. Wendy is still fighting, still longing for the chance to reclaim her life, but the weight of the situation is undeniable. As this legal battle continues to unfold, one question remains: will Wendy Williams ever regain her independence? Will she break free from the guardianship that has stripped her of basic rights, or will this be a never-ending fight? Wendy's story is one of power, control, and resilience. And the world is watching, waiting to see if she can reclaim her voice. What do you think? Is Wendy truly being exploited by those closest to her? Or is this all just a tragic series of misunderstandings? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more updates. Stay tuned, because this saga is far from over. Wendy's fight for freedom is only beginning, and you won't want to miss what happens next.